We're joined by criminal defense attorney Dan Recht, who's worked a lot of cases in Eagle County where this will be tried. Dan, welcome.
Thank you.
What is, as best we know, is a he said, she said, and you have two people who by all accounts are reasonably upstanding citizens. I mean, we're not talking about Mike Tyson here. Who has the upper hand in this sort of case?
You know, it's hard to tell. I think it's difficult. You can portray it as difficult from both perspectives. The prosecution is going to have a difficult time if that's all they have is her saying this happened. However, at least in the press in Colorado, there's been an indication that there was some kind of turmoil in the room, that a guest in the room next door had to call and ask that the noise be kept down, and that's how it all started. So that adds something to her side of the ledger as far as credibility, I suppose. On the other hand, Kobe Bryant's attorney, Pam Mackey, said that all of the physical evidence will support him, meaning there is no physical evidence to say that he did anything other than have consensual sex.
What could she, I want to talk about the lawyers in a second, but
sure.
What could she possibly have been referring to when she talked about all of the physical evidence? She didn't say that there was a lack of physical evidence. She said all of the physical evidence supports his position. I
am, of course, just speculating, but for example, in many rape cases, the victim has bruises that were inflicted by the person forcing sex upon them. And so she may well have been talking about the fact that there was no bruising, there was no abrasions, there was no vaginal trauma, there was none of those kind of things that indicate force.
The lawyers involved, Mr. Bryant's lawyer, an experienced defense attorney, correct?
Absolutely, both of them are.
Terrific lawyers?
I would say they're terrific lawyers. They're lawyers. They aren't flashy. The average person on the street in Denver wouldn't even know their names, but other criminal defense lawyers know them as very good, competent, brilliant defense attorneys.
Is there a danger, I'm going to ask this delicately here, I think, is there a danger that his defense could be seen as too high-powered, too expensive, going up against a local attorney?
Well, not if it remains the way it is, because like I said, these are not attorneys that are household names in Colorado or anywhere, and certainly not in the Vail Valley or Eagle. I suppose if Kobe Bryant chose to bring in big national names to help these lawyers, they would run that kind of risk. But there's no indication that he has done anything like that or will do anything like that.
Prosecutor, good trial lawyer?
The prosecutor is much younger, much less experienced than the two defense lawyers. I know him. I find him to be a competent, good lawyer also, and experienced, has tried many cases, not as many as the defense attorneys.
What can the alleged victim in this case expect in the weeks and months, I gather, ahead?
I think her life could be very difficult, very difficult. I think she's going to have trouble going out in public without reporters trying to find her. Now the sort of reporter frenzy will calm down in the next few days or the next few weeks, but I think she's going to be in the spotlight, boy, for the next year, is my guess.
Are you surprised at this point there have been no pictures of her?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Everybody is trying hard, it seems, to keep her name and picture out of the press. And you'll note, or I noted anyway, that in the complaint that was filed against Kobe Bryant, they did not use her name. They used an abbreviation. They did not give away who she was or how they could find her.
Would you guess that she has been polygraphed?
That's hard to say. I would guess not, frankly. I think they assess her credibility. The prosecutors assessed her credibility simply by interviewing her. I'm confident they interviewed her, but I don't know that they polygraphed her. And again, it's just a guess on my part, but from my experience in that jurisdiction, I don't know them to do that kind of thing routinely.
Dan, thanks for your help tonight. Very nice job in helping us wade through some of this. Thank you very much. Dan